Hello and welcome back to Daily Weekly Builds. I've been designing more LEGO things in Mecabricks, a digital design studio, browser-based website which anyone can use. It's free to use, similar to Bricklink Studio, which I can't access because I don't have the right hardware for it. But anyway, this is some of the things I've been designing for my LEGO city. So these are all things that I plan to actually get the parts for and build in the future. Just a few buildings and some vehicles and things. I've done a few videos of these in the past, so do check them out if you are interested. But yes, I've kind of been on a roll, really, just kind of going all out making some of these things, and I'm just kind of really getting into it. I never thought I'd be into digital design, but, you know, when you kind of don't have the parts and you want to get building, then you might as well do it digitally. So this is what I've done. Right, let's start off with something down here. Here we go, the tuning workshop, based off a LEGO city set from a few years ago. And I very recently got my hands on the actual set, so that's one step closer to building this. And as you can see, this is what the official set looks like, and then this is what my modified version is. So I've kind of expanded it, I've finished it, I gave it a roof because that was missing, I filled in the walls around the back, and I have a specific spot in mind for where this is going to go in my LEGO city. So it's designed to that scale and size and everything, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Like, I knew what I wanted, but I wasn't sure how to get there. But I think what I've done here is a pretty good job. The interior is exactly the same as the original set. There's some kind of open space in this new bay area, which I haven't really done. I don't really do a lot of interior designs when I'm designing, because I like to do that hands-on when I actually have the parts, but the exterior is always the main focus for me. And I kept consistent with the colour scheme, using the masonry bricks here and there, just kind of give the old, slightly weathered, like converted old warehouse building or something. Like, you can just imagine this is probably in an older part of town, and it is quite an old building which is still being used today. I added a few more windows in just to let some light in, and I kind of went a bit asymmetrical down below, using a similar design to the window on the side here. But, you know, it works. I'm happy with it. I figured, yeah, like an older building like this, it probably wouldn't be all perfectly symmetrical or anything. But then I did the windows for the kind of, well, it's not really a top floor, is it? It's just kind of extending the ceiling, because I wanted to keep the crane in there and be able to take the roof off. So that's what I wanted to kind of make sure that the little crane inside can still work whilst having the roof on. So I just added a few more windows, and it kind of looks like a second floor, but obviously there's nothing there. And then for the roof, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the roof, so I kind of tiled it all off. It's nice and smooth looking, perhaps maybe not the most realistic thing, but, you know, it's my LEGO, who cares, right? But I used these ramp pieces, which you probably get in a lot of the road plate packs, and I have way too many of these, and I just didn't know what to do with them. So I figured I might as well put a few of them on the roof. It kind of gives a cool texture, and it just helps me use up some of them. But yeah, I've got a lot more of those to use up somewhere in my city, so I'll have to probably figure out something. But yeah, that's kind of the first one, and I'm pretty looking forward to it. Everything I make is possible to be made, otherwise what would be the point? So yes, I can get all the parts of this, and now I have the official set in my hands, I can actually maybe make a start on it. Next up, it's just a couple of shops. This is basically a copy of the design from the LEGO City Town Square set from, I think, 2015, where they had their LEGO store that was designed like this. I just kind of gave it like a blank slate for some other shops to go in. It's just kind of all black inside. It's quite a modern looking thing, and there's a shopping centre near where I live that has buildings that look kind of similar to this, actually, so that's pretty cool. So, you know, that's not really my own design too much, but I thought I'd show that anyway. And since my city is going to be a mix of custom builds and official sets which have been modified, here's another one that I've modified from another LEGO City kind of main downtown set sort of thing, where you got the pizza shop down below and the dojo up top. I just kind of expanded it a little bit and gave it a back wall. So, you know, it's keeping it in, because I like some LEGO City sets. This is my favourite theme, so I don't want to change everything, but there's a certain spot in mind where this is going to go, so it's all kind of the part of the main shopping district. Now for something a little bit different, not quite a vehicle, but kind of a combination of a couple sets, because we've got that new LEGO yellow delivery truck, but I'm not a fan of the American style actual truck cab that they went for. Like, I know it's kind of iconic and LEGO delivery trucks have used it in the past, but this particular one I'm not really a fan of. I did like the one from 2010, so I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just build that and modify that one for this new delivery truck, but then this new delivery truck is really long and slightly wider, so that's why this truck's a little bit bigger, so I'd probably have to do some adjustments and things. But then I was also looking at the new auto car transporter, that big truck, and I was very tempted to get it, but I was thinking, well, it's really big, and the only thing I actually like about it is the style of the cab. So I was thinking, hold on a minute, I like the cab from one truck and the trailer from another set. Instead of buying both sets, just get one, for example the delivery truck, because I can keep the trailer for it, and then just convert the cab from the auto transporter to yellow and make that pull my Lego truck. I feel like maybe it looks a little bit small compared to the massive trailer, but I've customized it slightly so the width and everything kind of matches up. So I think this is what I'm probably going to do actually. So I will buy the Lego delivery truck eventually, maybe if it's on sale or something, and then make my own version of this cab to pull it along, because I much prefer this kind of cab over design rather than this American, I don't know the exact name for it, but it's an American style cab, and I just not really a fan of those. It's not something I really see often here in the UK, so I think this is what I'll make instead. Next up, I was inspired by a Lego modular building, specifically the brick bank and its little laundrette. I was like, yes, that's such a cool little mini build. I'd love to have that in my Lego city, but the brick bank is a really super expensive modular building, and my Lego city isn't going to have modular buildings, so I figured, okay, I can just make that myself. And I thought, well, I could just copy it exactly, but I did some color swaps. Instead of it being sand blue, I went for sand green, and I did make a separate sand blue building, as you can see in the corner there. But the main focus was the laundrette. Pretty much copied the whole sign frontage, and I thought, well, I want to make the shop a little bit different, so I kind of went for this slightly different inset design for the windows down there. But that printed glass piece with the open soap and suds sign is super expensive on Bricklink, so I probably won't ever be able to get that unless I get like a reproduction or something, unless I get super lucky. But yeah, that one piece, I think, it was like £30 or something crazy like that, one that I saw, and I'm not paying that for a single piece. But then I understand it did only come in one set, so you can understand it being expensive, but one can dream, right? It just adds to the whole look, but otherwise the shop front is pretty much the same. And above that shop is like a dark brown and dark orange kind of building. So I thought, okay, I could try and replicate that as well, but I don't know, I feel like it just looks a little bit weird almost. So I was thinking to not give the laundrette a second floor and just leave it as this kind of really small little building. But I left it on there for now. I like what I've done with the top of the roof though, that looks pretty cool, but I just feel like the way the dark orange portion of the building sits right on top of the sign, I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know. Then if we take a look at this sand blue building here, which was originally, again, kind of inspired by the laundrette building from the brick bank. You can see some design similarities down below there. And then the top floor was actually I was going to use for a different building in my Lego city. Oh, let's zoom back in. But I decided to put it all together, and, sand blue is a pretty cool colour. And again, I like what I've done with the roof here. I think that looks pretty nice, actually. I try and vary it up slightly. That's pretty cool. And then over here, I was kind of in the very early stages of making another building where, again, it's kind of inset, because I don't want them to all look the same. So I'll probably build this, I don't know, maybe like a little clothing store or something. For this particular area of the city where these buildings are, they are only going to be like 8 by 16, plus, once that's in there, there's like 4 studs of width. So it's typical Lego City set style, but there's a very specific place in my layout where these are going to go, and they're mostly just facades, really. Next up, we have another set expansion and modification from an official set. As you can see, this is based on the grocery store, and all I did was just give it a back and give it a roof. I really like this set pretty much as it is, so I wanted to include that, and I've just left it pretty much how it comes in the set. Add a few air vents and ducts and things on the roof just to give it a bit more detail. But yeah, not too much of a custom job for this one. But if you want something completely original and completely custom, here is my fast food restaurant, inspired by the sandwich shop gift with purchase. As you can see, I've incorporated 2 of them here, because I just saw that and I just knew I wanted to complete the rest of the building. Like, what is this? What goes on here? And the burger sign is pretty much modelled from a Lego City Fire burger bar rescue set. So again, I really like that, and I thought, yep, I'll include that. Got the little drive-through area here, so you got the first window, which is where they can order and pay. Then they got the second window where they can collect their food. I thought that's pretty cool. And then we got some doors here, nice big open area. Got the counter in there. I put a couple of interior details, but again, I don't normally do that. A couple of seating areas and some bins and things. And then a small outside seating area. Just, I thought, why not? Let's go for that. And then there's enough space where just through here is going to be the kitchen area. I'm not sure if I'm going to have it as a window there. I might just brick it up. I don't know how. There's a lot of windows on this, but I don't know if a window here makes much sense. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I like the color scheme. It works, and I think this will be a pretty fun one to build. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite custom ones I've made so far. And again, I put a few air vents and things on the roof just to make it a bit more interesting visually. And after that, we have another Lego City official set expansion or kind of modification. I might have shown this one off previously, but this is the new sightseeing tour bus, which I've kind of turned into a more classic London style double-decker red bus. So this would use probably parts from 2 sets, I think, and maybe a few extra pieces. So that's my plan. When I see this set on a good deal, I'm going to get 2 of them and just kind of make this, really, because at first I'm not really interested in it, but then I saw other people make it into a double-decker bus. I was like, that's pretty cool, I've got to do it for myself. So this is what I plan to do, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Again, not too much hard work went into this because it's a pretty easy modification, if I'm honest, but I'm happy that I've made it, and it's, yeah, something that I will be adding to my city. And if you've guessed it by now, yeah, I just kind of, expand on what's already done. But like I keep saying, I like Lego cities, so this is what I do, a mix of official sets and custom sets. So here we've got the donut shop from the donut shop opening. Originally, I was going to give that a second floor, but I decided not to because of how the donut sits on the roof, so I wanted that to be pretty cool. And then we've got the toy shop here, which I have given a second floor. Again, it is only an 8x16 building, but it's a specific area where it's going to go in. And then I liked it so much, and I thought, well, I want the donut to have like a clean background to it. So I basically mirrored the shop I did for the toy shop, and I think this is going to be a city comic store from the downtown set. I did come up with a different design for that, but it just looked really bad. Like, it looks a bit clean, it looks a bit simple, but these are the type of things, like this shop front here, is something you definitely find in a British retail park, So it's kind of based on true life and Lego City sets. It's simple, but it works. In the first video where I showed you some of my custom designs, it was a big train focus, and I made a train car similar to this with dark green colours, and I wanted to make one with the dark red as well, because again, it's kind of a classic kind of British rail sort of look to it. So again, this is one that can be made, it's quite possible, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it is on my list to make. Yeah, I just really like this. Probably have like 3 of them being pulled by a steam train or something, really cool, but I can only build so many things at once, so at least I have a digital design for it. At least, I can look at it like this way. And here we have the horrendous looking expansion from the comic store from the Lego City downtown set. The bottom floor is how the set is officially, and I wanted to give it a second floor, so I was like, okay, let's just mirror the design, keep all the same colours and things, but it does not look good, does it? Yeah, and I think the roof, again, is a cool design, but maybe it looks a bit out of place. It looks a bit old-fashioned compared to the rest of the store. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just going to have to kind of completely scrap this and just come up with something else, which I did. I prefer the other design that I'm going for, but maybe this will find a place in the city, but I'm not so sure. But I do like that roof texture though, so I might have to reuse that for another building. And just like how we expanded some more sets, well, here's another one. I expanded the Lego City car dealership from another town square set from 2015. One of my favourite sets. It's so simple, but it just works. So I've expanded this, given it a little parking space for the tow truck, and then obviously double up the whole dealership space as well. So you could almost use 2 lots of these sets back to back, put it together to come up with that. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much the same for now. I will do more modifications once I come to build it for real. For example, I just haven't even put the tow truck in properly because this car is going through the back fence here, which backs onto my railway. So yeah, that won't be quite like, the car won't be there obviously when I come to do this for real. But again, in this particular set, in my Lego City, it's going to be in a slightly older part of town, but this is a newer building. So I wanted to keep references to the fact that it's an older area with this kind of broken brick wall outside and then this style of fence around the back. They're slightly more dated compared to the rest of the building, but I thought it's kind of accurate, so I wanted to keep it in there. And lastly, we probably have my favourite one that is, again, it started off based on an official Lego City set from, I think it was called Shopping Street from 2022, where you had the bakery and the bike shop. But I pretty much took that and ran with it. As you can see, the bike shop is pretty much unchanged down below, but I did give it a second floor, and I wanted to keep the kind of mountain effect that they had on there for their sign. So the top does look a bit basic, I suppose, with the light grey. Maybe this is how it looks in this digital software, but I thought I'd give it a different kind of roof, put the EST for 2024 when this Lego City was started, add a couple of flags on there, but I mean, the bakery is the real star of the show here. Again, this was a very narrow facade, again, only 4 studs, but the place where this is going in my city, that's pretty much all it could be anyway. As you can see, I put these white panels here because this is going on the back side of my custom police station, which is essentially a big white building, and on the back is just a plain white wall, so I wanted something to cover that up and make it look a bit nicer, so that's what they're there. So when you look through the windows, it might look a bit white. I might black them out or something, but I gave the bakery a little outside seating area. I really like the kind of wooden frame I put over the top and the vines on the back wall. The awnings, the flowers, the use of the masonry bricks, the roof. I don't know, I'm just really happy with how this looked. And it looks really good, don't you think? Maybe I'm biased, obviously, but even the roof effect, yeah. And then I just thought, just let's pretend that this building is bigger than it is. So I expanded it again here, but it's just like a single stud wall, it's just a fake wall, just to give some more visual interest out there. And I'm really happy with how this turned out, so this is what I'm really looking forward to making. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share with your friends, and if you want to support this channel and help me afford the parts to make these things, then why not become a channel member or click the super thanks button as well. It would really help us out. Any money we get will be directly invested back into the channel so we can build more LEGO sets and more custom designs like this. Let me know which one of these is your favourite. I think mine is definitely this bakery here. Just look at it. That looks so good. And I mean, it's pretty easy. If I want to expand it into a full building, I've already got the front. You just kind of build around it, so that wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, that looks nice, don't you think? Tell me which one of these is your favourites in the comments. I'll see you next time for that LEGO review, city update, or more. Thank you. Bye for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the other videos on this channel or on one of my other channels as well. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends.